Now, if you listen to Kamikaze by Eminem, then you already know what Eminem's beef with hip-hop is. M simply doesn't like the current state of hip-hop, so yeah, let's talk about it. Kamikaze was of course one of the bigger rap releases of 2018, not only because it was Eminem, but also because a lot of people feel the same way as M, and they resonated with some of the things he was talking about. One of those things is obviously his view on the new generation of rap. Already from the get-go on the track The Ringer, he made it very clear that he does not mess with it, and in fact, he kinda resents it. Do you think Eminem is getting too old, or is he just sick of the BS? On one hand, there's a group of people who fully agree with him dissing people like Lil Xan and Lil Pump because they can't stand rappers like that. On the other hand, we have the people who are kind of indifferent towards M's views, and then on the other side, we have people who do not mess with Eminem himself because he feels that way. One of those people is, funny enough, Justin Bieber. I think he's a good example because very recently, actually around 2 months ago, he randomly put up this on his Instagram story criticizing M for not understanding the new generation of rap. And let me tell you this, a lot of people fully agree with Bieber. The question that comes up though is, why would anyone think like this? If you think like this, then that has to mean that you probably don't appreciate lyrics. One thing I want to say regarding this is you could also listen to both. That's always an option. As far as Eminem's viewpoint on the current state of rap, what is my honest opinion? My honest opinion is I don't agree with Eminem at all, and let me tell you why. See, I'm all about solutions because I've realized that complaining about hip-hop because it's changing will not do anything. Matter of fact, it's probably doing more damage than good. It creates an unnecessary amount of separation between not only the fans and the artists, but the genre as a whole. Right now, you may be listening to this thinking, well, what the hell is the solution? If you don't agree with Eminem bashing the new generation of rap, what can he really do? Let me tell you exactly what Eminem can do, and as an example here, we're gonna use the one and only J. Cole. So have you noticed how J. Cole is in a place in his career right now where he's heavily involving himself in every part of hip-hop? You might have seen my video on this, but the amount of features he did in 2018 was out of this world, and people were asking, what is the purpose of doing so many features? This is especially a relevant question when it comes to J. Cole because he's been known for not collabing with a whole bunch of different rappers, and now he's doing it. Why is he doing it? The purpose of J. Cole involving himself so much in the industry is his way of making an actual change in the rap industry. One thing we know about Cole is a couple years ago, around his Forest Hills Drive era, Cole was anti-industry, anti-materialism. He simply did not mess with anything that had to do with the rap game. That's why you never saw him associating himself with it. J. Cole deciding to do this though was actually hurting hip-hop because now his knowledge, his perspective on life, a lot of the positive characteristics he has can't be spread to other rappers if he's willingly alienating himself from the rap game. A key sentence here is, if you want to make a change, you actually gotta be in it. Let's relate this back to Eminem. So as of now, at this point at least, Eminem is an OG in hip-hop. I challenge you to name a single rapper, of course, except for MGK because that's cheating, but name a single rapper who does not respect Eminem. It's just not possible. Even the people who you would consider his enemies respect him because they know the amount of accomplishments under his belt is really something that's close to unattainable. To make my point even more clear and to make you fully understand what I'm trying to say at the end, let's look at some of the people Eminem dissed on Kamikaze and let's look at their reactions towards his diss. So on this part of the Ringer, he of course dissed Lil Xan and Lil Pump, and then on this part I don't want to call this a diss because he says it himself, it's not, but let's call it a mention, okay? He mentions Lil Yachty and says how he sees why people like him, but of course he himself doesn't like him. Let's take a look at Lil Xan's reaction when he found out that Eminem dissed him. As you can see, Lil Xan thanked Eminem. And then right here we have Lil Pump's reaction. As you can see, Lil Pump feels like he deserved to get dissed. And then last but not least, here we have Lil Yachty's response. Do you see where I'm going with this? The same people Eminem absolutely despises are bowing down to Eminem himself. And why are they doing that? Well, for the simple fact that it's Eminem who does not respect Eminem. I say that to say this, M's beef with hip-hop is clearly only, the state of hip-hop as of now and of course where it's headed. Think about this for a second. The same rappers who Eminem is dissing and Eminem himself thinks are ruining hip-hop are bowing down to him. What does that tell you? That tells me that Eminem has influence over these rappers. Eminem can actually inspire these guys to change in some kind of way. So instead of M complaining about hip-hop, wouldn't you say that if he decided to involve himself in the rap game in some kind of way to guide some of these young rappers who keep on praising him even though he dissed them, wouldn't hip-hop be in a much better place? What do you think? Just like J. Cole, I think Eminem can have a really meaningful impact in the genre if he decided to not only point fingers but also lift up the younger generation. His version of lifting up could maybe be educating these young rappers on things like the importance of meaningful lyrics, because clearly that's M's biggest issue with hip-hop right now. So yeah, that's of course my opinion on this entire topic, but what do you personally have to say about this? Do you see where I'm coming from when I say that Eminem could use his name to make a change in hip-hop instead of just complaining about the state of it? And also, what do you think about M's beef with hip-hop? Do you share the same viewpoint as M? definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.